Hello, all you suicide warriors. Dan Pelly here, inspirational speaker, suicide warrior. The topic of this video is determination. This saved my life 18 years ago when I started practicing Buddhism after 2 suicide attempts and not wanting to go back a third, and lucky to be here. Very grateful, very thankful. And it took me from 2010 to 2016 to go public in 2016 to help others. Because in our Buddhist practice, it's about helping others. So it's not about the money for me, it's not about the recognition. It's about that person on the other side of this screen that makes a determination that's suffering so bad that you want to end it. And you have suicide ideation. And this is why I have this shirt made, because I made a determination saying, nope, not today, no matter how bad I was feeling. And the clinical depression and staying in bed for 8 months and the lack of determination. It's not about rah, 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 be positive, go get motivated. Of course, that's important. But you need to make an inner determination. Nope, not today. When you're on that edge, you on the other side, you suffering. I know what it's like, the darkness, the small little light, if you see any at all, is gone. And you think the only solution to temporary problems is to end it in the suicide ideation we can get in when we're depressed. We got to turn that depression into determination, turn that poison into medicine. And a quote that I read about determination basically saved my life, to make that determination every day, no matter how down I was, no matter how much I wanted to check out, that I would never go back again. And lucky and thankful and grateful. But I'm going to read this quote, and it's so important that you feel this way. And it's not like you're going to feel great every day, obviously, when you're suffering. But I kept going back to this quote and making the effort to say, nope, not today, not any day. And I will read this. I have to put my glasses on, and I think you'll find it very moving. My mentor, President Kate, who passed away last year at 95 years old, blazed a trail on this Buddhist practice and inspired millions. When your determination changes, everything else begins to move in the direction you desire. The moment you resolve to be victorious, every nerve and fiber in your being immediately orientates themselves towards your success. One more time. When your determination changes, everything else begins to move in the direction you desire. The moment you resolve to be victorious, every nerve and fiber in your being immediately orient themselves towards your success. That quote is still above my desk 18 years later, because I have my down days. I'm a human being. We go in and out of 10 worlds all the time. Something tragically happens. You lose everything, and you can be plunged into the world of hell. And you think the only way out to temporary problems is that permanent solution. No matter if it's whatever it is. It could be loss of everything. It could be someone else that get almost killed in a car accident, like my stepdaughter did in 2010. And I'm so blessed, and we're blessed that she's still with us. And it just was horrific, but it can plunge you into that darkness so quickly, and it takes a lot to pull out of it. But we need to make a determination. And that quote's important, because once you say to yourself, nope, not today, and you continue to say it until that feeling of suicide ideation eventually went away. And when it went away, then I could really start seeing that we're only in that position because of what happened. It doesn't mean it's going to last forever. Although my clinical depression lasted for quite some time, over a year, and staying in bed for over 8 months, I realized that I got to get up, I got to do a short list, I got to be determined to get myself healthy, because nobody's going to do it for you. And whoever's listening to me on the other side of the screen that's in clinical depression, that's suffering, you have to reach out for help and be determined and call 988. You need to make the call. You need to get help. I'm always directing people to get help. Or you need to share it with a loved one. You need to tell someone you're secretly thinking about hurting yourself, because people do keep it a secret. And it can be very secretive and very hidden where you don't know whether someone's suffering with an illness or whatever's going on that puts people into depression. Here we are. And then you don't know what to do. And you need help, because that's all you can think about is wanting to end it. And it's not easy. We get into these situations that we can be very happy about things that are happening. And I was successful most of my life. And then when you experience a lot of failure, hey, some people never go down the road, but a lot of people do. 98%, 95%, they say people have the thought of suicide. And it's just a horrific place to be. It's a wretched animal. It's a devilish function. It's just so horrific for people. And I'm making these videos to help people to stay determined. And every day I used to say, nope, not today, Dan. Nope, not today. You're not going back. You're not going back in my deepest, darkest moments. And I wanted to go again on it. Even after 2 attempts through 14 years later, 96 and 2010, lost everything in 96 and was devastated and never lost all that in my life. And it just affected me that way. And then my stepdaughter almost getting killed in 2010 after I started a whole new life. And I said, I never can go back. I'm so lucky to be here. And I just kept saying, that's why I got the shirt makers. I kept saying every day back then, nope, not today. No, not today, not any day. I gotta not let this happen. And it's gonna be up to me. Nobody's gonna save you. You might get help, and I got a lot of help, believe me. Good help, bad help. I got away from the bad help, I got good help. Supportive family, all good. But it really comes down to the darkest moments of your nights and your days, and you're alone, and you gotta say, man, I gotta stay determined not to do this. I got to stay determined. So this is why I had the shirt made, because it was a big line for me. Nope, not today, Dan. No, not today, not any day. And I went public in 2016 after 6 years of shame and guilt and practicing for 6 years as a Buddhist, and still didn't have the courage to come out to help people like I should be doing as a Buddhist. And just as a human being, you don't even have to be a Buddhist, that you're going to help people. And I realized I just have to push forward. And I've had a little difficulty making this video because it was such a detrimental thing for me that saved my life. And I've been hesitant, not wanting to make it. I don't know why. And I just said, you know what? I got to redetermine after reading that quote to make every nerve and fiber of my body to make this video to help people. All the videos that I make now, I didn't make that many videos of late because I've been part of writing a book, a co-author with other authors about feeling worthy, and I'm in the middle of writing my own book for some time now, but I'm in the middle of getting it written and published soon, hopefully by the fall of 25, about my life, about my 2 suicide attempts, what brought me into Buddhism, what brought me out of it, how I got recovery, how I started 6 years later making the jump to do videos and to help people and really thrive and go for it. And of course, my first videos were rusty because you're not doing them that much, and you don't, I've been a public person and I'm in real estate and all that, but it's a whole different ball game when you're trying to talk to that person on the other side of the screen, and it's just that one person. I know there's many that watch me, and I have many followers, and I appreciate everybody that likes and subscribes to my YouTube channel, and it just helps my cause, because there is money involved. That's my own money to promote and do what I do. But all the subscriptions help, and all the likes, and just following me, and I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful to be here, that I can even share my story with people. But the book is being written, And it's been in the process for over 4 years now. And I've just been grinding it out. And I'm on my last chapter 10 to record. And I'm almost there. And I'm getting there. And I just can't wait to publish it because it's just so important. And it's going to be about suicide, of course, in my life and recovery. Because suicide is an unbiased robber of life. It will be the title of this book. Suicide is an unbiased robber of life. We all know somebody. We hear about somebody. We see it on the news. It's all happening. And it just really tugs at my heart when I see anybody has taken their life, because I know the dark place they were in, whether they have it spontaneously, and those are the toughest people to save, and they just act out. And that's a tough one. But usually it's a suicide ideation. It goes on for a while. People are contemplating, they're keeping it secretive, and you need to reach out. You got to call 988. You got to get help. You just can't do it on your own. When I was at my weakest moment, I couldn't walk up a set of stairs. My head was down. I couldn't even, I wasn't talking like this. Suffering, because in Buddhism, we go in these 10 worlds. We're not these 10 worlds, and there's a lower 5, 6 worlds that we can be in, from tragedy, the world of hell, the world of suffering, the world of depression, the world of animality. There's all these things we can be in, and to pull ourselves out. I chant every day, I do mantra, and I'm trying to raise my life condition all the time, whether in this life or my next life. It's about raising your life condition and getting to the point where you stay determined. And I wasn't overly determined about doing this video, maybe because it touched a very nerve in me that it was my turning point. And I said, no, this got to get done. Whether I made a couple of videos last year, or I'm making 1, or I'm making 5, or I'm making 6, it's not the amount, it's the content. What can I say to the person? Because my mentor always taught me, and he passed away over a year ago at 95 and inspired millions. It's that person right in front of you, just like that person that's listening, that's on the other side of the screen, that wants to take their life. Nope, not today. Tomorrow? Nope, not today. The next day? Nope, not today. Because it wants you, it wants to take you. Whatever devilish functions are going on, whatever lower world of hell that we live in, because of things that can turn us on a dime like that, and to rebound and come out of it and say, never again, Dan. And that's where I've been since I started practicing in 08, 09. I started practicing and still had an attempt in 10, because when you're trying to raise your life condition, you're attacked even more. Until now, I'm not fazed by a lot of that anymore. Of course, I'm human and things come at me and I have my problems, but I stay determined. And not that I'm in any suicide ideation. I'm talking about that person on the other side of the screen that is. And where I was for months on end, it just wouldn't stop. It was an 800-pound gorilla on my back, and I had to redetermine. I had to reread that quote every day to make sure that every nerve and fiber of my body wasn't going to give up again, ever again, until my last breath on this earth, because nobody knows when our last moment's going to be. So you might as well give it. You might as well give it all you got, because we only have one life to live. We were born to be happy. We weren't born to suffer. Although there's a lot of suffering in this world, there's a lot of good in this world too. So you have to redetermine. You have to get up in the morning and say, okay, I feel like shit today. I don't want to go out. I don't want to do this. I don't want to deal with people. But you know what? I have to get up. And then when you have all these issues going on, and you're getting edgy, and you're getting depressed, and you just think you're better off, it's, no, not today. Not today, not any day. You matter. Your life matters. You have to love yourself. And that's something I wasn't doing in my life. You have to love who you are. You have to love yourself as a human being. It's not about loving everybody else. Of course, we want to love our family, our friends, and we want everything to be good for them too. And I chant for everybody's good health and protection and everything that I do. But if you don't find happiness inside and you don't have that inner determination, and you're not going to find it. You got to be able. Look, you're not going to have great days every day, but to get up and keep moving and to have the short list. Some days I don't want to get up. I don't want to deal with life either. I'm still human. I'm not depressed. I'm not clinically depressed, but I'm still a human being. We have these days. It's okay. Just take it easy some days. Go easy on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Make a determination not to be that hard on yourself, because that's something I wasn't good at. I was always really hard on myself, and I was always like, you didn't do this right. I've had a lot of success in my life, and I've had a lot of failures. This is life. We have success, we have failures, we have success. Whether in my real estate business, I'm successful again, I'm making a living, or I'm making videos and I'm trying to help people. This is my true mission, is to help people, and where I'll be going and doing for the rest of my life when real estate ends, that I will keep wanting to help people because it's my mission. So I stay determined to make sure that I don't regress back into that suicide ideation again, because I'm no different from you. I'm no different from anybody out there. And whether I, make people feel better or I inspire them to not give up, I can get down too. I have to redetermine. I have to redetermine that, no, not today, Dan. And you're going to keep going and you're going to keep trying. Maybe you might be delayed on things, or things are holding you up or whatever it is. But here I am making another video into the new year and learning the fact that even I'm still learning, and we're going to learn for the rest of our life, that you have to make determinations. And it's not just about a lot of speakers, get up, positive, be positive, and, be motivated. Of course, those are good things. But if you don't have an inner determination when the dark moments hit, because when them dark moments hit and you're down so bad and you're depressed so bad, positive thinking and motivation is not even on the table at all. Because I was the most positive guy you could ever run into when I was running my real estate business back in the day. I'm back in it again, but you would never think, not you, because we always think, not that person. I can't believe he or she did that. We're shocked almost that some people suffer so bad in silence that they don't reach out and they take their life because they're suffering so bad. They're ashamed, and the guilt and the heaviness of failing and all that, especially for men. They don't want to reach out and say, hey, I'm weak. I'm not determined today. I'm not positive. I'm not motivated. I'm not determined. But I thought, when it comes to determination and thinking about it, it's really the inner determination. Every fiber and being inside you. You on the other side that's suffering right now in the darkness. I've been there. It's like an 800-pound gorilla on your back. And I know what it feels like, and it sucks. It sucks bad. But listen to me. You can recover. You can stay determined to recover. You can reach out to 988. You can reach out to a family member. You can tell somebody, I'm suffering and I'm thinking about hurting myself. You need to do this. And although I was secretive on my first attempt and nobody knew, they knew I was sick, but they didn't think I would go there. We always think no one's going to go there. We have to look a little deeper. We have to see a little closer. We have to ask a little bit more often, how are you doing? You're not thinking about hurting yourself, are you? You know, we have to bring up the conversation. We have to have the dialogue. If we don't have the dialogue, we're not going to be able to help anybody. You're not going to wish it away. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to wish it away, and you're going to have to step in for somebody and talk with them and tell them how, you care about them and you love them. So I'm just going to take a little drink of water. I knew this was going to be a tough one because it just means so much. Now, let's get back to recovery. When I made the determination and I started doing this every day and reading that quote every day, and I was having my bad days and maybe a good day out of 7, and it was just like, and all of a sudden the days started getting better. I started feeling better. Whatever medication I was on at the time, I mean, I've been med-free since 2010, but I was on to medications. I didn't want to go hurt myself anymore. So I had to balance out. Although with medication, it can numb you some, you don't feel your feelings, but it keeps you safe in a certain aspect, depending on if it's an adolescent or an adult. I went through medications, I went through therapists. I found a good therapist I was with for over 10 years. And, you have to be able to speak up and say, hey, look, I'm not happy with you, and I need someone else that I can have better rapport with, or whatever it is. So I lived and learned all about the medical side of it, and I was associate's degree for psychology and learning about my suffering, so I wouldn't go back there. But it's not about just being medically intelligent about people's thoughts or how they feel, a psychiatrist, a clinical or neurological. Of course, we need education, and those people, can prescribe medication the right way, they monitor you, they help you bring that level of intensity down where, I don't believe in being on medication forever, but some people need to be on it. I'm not going to say I'm anti-medication. I think it's a little overdone with the commercials and everything's a pill, but I think when I weaned off of 4 or 5 medications over 2 years, when I was med-free, I felt my best, and I could be safe again, and made a determination to be med-free after 2011. By December of 2011, a whole year, I was chanting about being med-free and just kept working and talking with the doctors and moving away from the medication that I was on, because I wasn't, feeling my feelings like I wanted to, and the way things were going, and I just feel better. But believe me, if I was in clinical depression, I wouldn't hesitate to get on some medication, because it's just a place that your mind and neurologically is not functioning right, and the firing of your chemicals. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm just an inspirational speaker talking about my experiences and what took me from desolation and clinical depression to wanting to end my life to now being here where I am today. Really pushing the message out that your life matters. You matter, man. You matter, and we don't have to be ashamed that we're sick, and we don't have to feel guilty. It's like any other illness. I mean, do we not talk about cancer? Do we not talk about all these things? Why not suicide? And then we hear people, men or women, or whoever it is out there, that I can't believe that person did that. I would never thought that person did it. I've heard sports people that I admired in football. I'm like, I can't believe he did it. But believe it, because suicide's an unbiased robber of life. That will be the title of my book. And I've traded, and I have a copyright on it to know that that's what I want to say. Suicide is an unbiased robber of life. It takes anybody, anywhere, rich, poor, It doesn't matter, young, old. I mean, you got some kids at 10, 11 years old that are taking their life. And you got to get them help. You can't let someone sit there in their room isolated for so long that it could end up being a tragedy because you won't take action. You're afraid to say anything. I love you. You're not thinking about hurting yourself, are you? I mean, that's a tough question, right? Because you feel the person's going to get upset. Whether they get upset or not, you know they're isolating. You know they're depressed. You know they're hurting. Whether a tragedy happened or they've lost everything or whatever it is that puts someone into depression, it's a rampant situation, especially with COVID going on and all the isolation and the shutdowns, Back then, in 1 month, it went up 20,000 people killed themselves in June of 20. 20,000 in America. Over 1 million people take their life in America, okay? And I'm sorry, over 1 million people take their life in the world, okay? And almost now it's up to 50,000. Used to be 30,000 in America. It's up to 50,000 a year in America that people are taking their life. So it's happening all the time. Veterans, 17 to 22 veterans a day. And I'm always advocating for the veterans too, that they matter. Your life matters, and they're suffering from the wars and everything, that they can recover and you can live a life. You got to make a determination not to give up. That's where it starts. Because once you make that determination, everything starts changing. It might change a little bit at a time, but it changes. And that's the message I want to leave you with tonight. That things change. Don't give up. Your life matters. You matter. And that's how I feel about determination. Don't give up on it. So when that moment comes and you feel like you want to end it, redetermine. Nope, not today, not any day. And that's what I wanted to say about determination tonight, because on this video and the next one that I make and all of it, this one's a really important one. Besides courage and hope and things that I've talked about before, it's all important. But this one, not only did it help me personally, I think it can help a lot of people to just have that inner determination not to give up. So I'm going to leave you with my Buddhist prayer I say for everybody and for you, your family, your loved ones. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, for your good health, your protection, your wisdom, your compassion, your courage, your determination, your mission, your happiness, your family, your good fortune, hope, and total victory. I'm Dan Pelly, inspirational speaker, and I'll see you on the next video.